Hello and welcome. My name is Kina Kay. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and I originally wanted to be a politician at 18, but when I looked into things, I realized that you couldn't make much of a difference from what I saw. So, fast forward, I moved to Buffalo, and another thing, or goal I had rather, is that I wanted to volunteer in Africa. But after coming to Buffalo, New York, let me tell you, it was disturbing. The government officials, like the governor here, has done nothing but tear upstate New York apart with all the fraudulent things and money's being spent, and he takes his cut off the top. Which brings me to the next topic. I like to persuade Democrats from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. And I have a couple of examples as to why. And even if you do not want to change parties, at least start learning about who is your legislator and your representatives and what have they done. Based off those things, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, you need to call and write them and vote them out. That would be like number one, vote them out. I like to back up and rewind before getting to Buffalo or returning to Buffalo. In Los Angeles, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there was a point in time around 2008, and basically there was a lot of illegal aliens and just a lot of different people from Los Angeles, and they were allowing people to buy the homes for $400,000 when the homes were only $200,000 and lower, either 200 or lower. And out of the blue, they allowed for all these people to buy the homes at these absurd amounts. Now, what we didn't know was they were going to eventually honor it. So basically, I feel like there was an attack on the whole system, your whole living situation in Los Angeles, basically, because you've allowed these illegal aliens and people that are ill-educated to purchase homes for absurd amount of money, and now for the people that may want to buy a home, or it was a dream for them to want to buy a home, it's like impossible now. Because now the homes in Los Angeles, in parts like Vermont, those homes shouldn't be $400,000 or $300,000, but they are. And who allowed it? Your government officials. Your government officials didn't do anything about it. Barack Obama, he turned around and bailed them out. Why did why did he allow for them to get paid when they already had insurances on the homes? And I'm talking about the banks. They have insurance, so they get paid that way. But on top of that, when they foreclosed on the homes, they turned around and then got the bailout from Obama, along with the car industry. They're already rich. So he just shoved all this money to the wealthy. So now you have Los Angeles being like baby New York, where it's so expensive to afford a home, to rent or to buy a home. And that's one example. My next example, let me look because I have notes here. Bear with me. Oh, okay. Just came to mind. Now you have Nancy Pelosi alleging that she's working for the American people and the American people want to know. But the true facts are there were a group of people, I'm sure they were illegal aliens, and they were protesting. We got to go back and rewind and remember. They were protesting. Remember all those protests? They were in front of Nancy Pelosi's house. So she received all these calls and basically she's not working for the people. She's working for the illegal aliens. So I don't know what sense does that make. And then she has somehow made this big old impeachment scam. It's such a scam that they had to go to the drawing board, change out what are the requirements, or add to what the requirements are, and they solely went based off of hearsay. I don't know of any courts that only go based off of hearsay, but that's what they did. Before that, it was the dossier. That was proven. The president was proven not guilty. They spent years on that. Taxpayers' money, time, and then they continued this. And this impeachment. This is going on 3 years. Nothing from the Democrats. And like I said, they are working for the illegal aliens, okay? So that in itself is disturbing. Then we have another issue. We have the no bail that started in Los Angeles. It made its way to New York, and it is out of control. I'll have to leave a link below, but it has everything from if you had sexual intercourse or abusive sexual manner with a child, that you can just not have a bail, just slap on the hand, and then it's so corrupt here in New York that the governor also included that if you bribe a judge, you don't have to pay any bail. You just pop on the hand. And it's not the minorities. It's not the minorities. It's not even the middle class. I can only assume. That is strictly for the corrupt Democrats. And they have been getting away with it for years. I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of it. I like to back up and talk about a little bit of history. Now, in my lifetime, witnessing presidents and what have you, I personally did not care for the second Bush. And to be quite honest with you, I feel that all this stuff they're doing to President Trump should have been done to Bush, President Bush Jr. He was the one that was just doing whatever and didn't care what he did as a representative of the country. I also recall him, soon as he got in office, this is the corrupt stuff I'm talking about. Soon as Bush Jr. got in office, he handed like millions of dollars to a church. Now they say state and church politics don't go together, but he did it. Where was Nancy Pelosi then? Where was Schumer, Chuck Schumer, and Pencil Neck, Shifty Schiff. Where were they? Where was the big circus and parade then? That's who that President Bush Jr., that's who they should have been acting like this to. All this marching and all this nonsense should have been done to President Bush II. Now, here in New York, they love illegals. They protect them. It's a sanctuary city, just like Los Angeles. Okay? They love illegals so much here that they're protecting them. They passed the green light bill, which forbids access, it forbids ICE, the sheriffs, the police department, FBI, CIA, it blocks them from having access from the DMV. This is how the Democrats in the House, Pelosi and the gang, they passed it to protect them. They are working for the illegal immigrants, not the American people. So we need to come off that. That is not what the impeachment is for. Let's get that straight. Now, here in New York, not only did they pass the green light bill and are protecting, fugitives, because it's a criminal thing. We have a couple, I don't have it on this, pulled up rather, but there's about 6 or 8 that ICE put out, and they're high-level crimes, and no access, because the Democrats are working for the illegal aliens. Our governor is pretty much a dictator. He is not for the people in New York at all. Nobody likes him. And he turned around and gave free schooling to the illegal aliens. Let's not forget all of our kids that went to school have these high loans they got to pay back and still struggling, trying to get through school. But this is they're working for the American people. You gotta look at the leaders in this whole orchestrated bull. Nancy Pelosi, Schiff, Chuck Schumer, Nittler, I think his name is. Yes, these are the benefits they got. And Obama turned around and gave them licenses. That started in Los Angeles. All you need is a license and a couple other documents. It's really easy in Los Angeles to probably become a citizen. Here is, I would assume, far harder, because I just wanted to get an ID coming from the state of California, and I needed like 10 things. What's up with that? But you can just hand out driver's license to illegal aliens. Slap them on the wrist when they're doing criminal activity. And by the way, we have a 92-year-old woman that was just killed by an illegal alien because he raped her and he killed her. This just happened in New York City, along with a lot of other things going on crazy right now. Because just the beginning of this year, when the new bill took effect, shit just hit the fan. There are so many stories. There's people getting killed. And these assholes are protecting them. These assholes are paying for their college. This is absurd. But there are elected officials. They work for us. What the hell are they doing? As far as I know, the governor, and let me give you his new name. Between him and his brother, first let's get the brother out of the way. He had this whole little incident. He wanted to act so offended. He was so offended. Yeah. Anyway, because someone called him Frito. That's supposed to be so offensive. And basically back in the days when they were, I guess, treated wrong in their ancestry and whatnot. Fool, the movie wasn't even out when all that was going on. That came from a movie. It's not called Frito. You look up the word, fool. It's called Guido. You are a Guido. I'm calling you a Guido. So you, Chris Cuomo, and your dumbass brother, Andrew Cuomo, is now officially Guido the governor. They are the only two. So, I have a long list of things he's done. Oh gosh, let me get to that. Let's get to that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's my list. I put it together, I've been posting it, and it's a petition because upstate New York, and I believe New York City residents as well, are sick of this Guido, the governor. Let's read some of this. I said, Cuomo is corrupt. Now, this is how he spends millions of dollars. It's nothing but laundering. Believe me, it's nothing but laundering. He takes his big cut and alleges all this stuff. It's ridiculous. But this is one of the funny ones, and where he gets away, because there's a joke about him. there's these groups in Facebook, and they talk about him like a dog, okay? They cannot stand him. And they call him King Cuomo, and right now I started a meme where I put him as Hitler because he very much resembles the way he was, rather. But he elected to name his father, which was a previous governor, and he was corrupt too. But he named bridges after his father. And he did not consult with the people. There was no vote. Like most times people come together in cities and they want to vote something like that in. No, not him. Not Guido the governor. That's one thing. Then he spent, oh, this was killer. He spent $8 million. Let me go ahead and read it. He spent $8 million on I Love New York signs that were illegal because I can't think of the name, but they govern the signs throughout all the states. And they already had told him, it's in an article, they had told him that he couldn't do it beforehand, and he did it anyway. Let's see. Okay, so he spent the $8 million on this. It was done illegally. And then this doesn't even include the takedown of the signs cost. Also, the federal officials slapping the state with a $14 million penalty for putting the signs up in the first place. And mind you, he's supposed to be an attorney. He's about the stupidest one I've ever seen. Andrew has abused his powers countless times. This is a perfect example of how he does pay to play. There was 500 signs made the lowest cost. This is my research and what I'm guessing, just to throw some figures out there, because it doesn't take a fortune to pay for a sign. Now, where did I leave off? Okay. There were 500 signs made. The lowest cost to make them would have been $100 to $500 each. No, Guido, the governor, is pocketing the money and claiming that it costs X, Y, and Z, giving raises to himself and the legislator. He turned around, gave himself a raise, and the legislators. Let me tell you about them. I went and researched them to see what the heck they were doing. So I went, read all the laws and whatnot that they had passed. Well, guess what? Everything that I read, and it was a lot of laws. It was a lot of laws that was passed. But let me let you in on a little secret. The laws already existed. There wasn't any new laws. Talk about a waste of taxpayer dollars. If they actually would do things that'll actually help out the communities in the cities and the state. But no, they're just sitting up passing the same laws. Maybe amending something, but I didn't see much of that. I did see it, but I didn't, see much of it. What else? So he gave himself in the legislature raises. Now, this is the most interesting part because this is supposed to be an attorney. We start the year off. $6 billion deficit because of him. Let's keep going down the list. We can see where this money he keeps stealing. Okay. So he lets the criminals out on the street. Okay, we covered that. Guido, the governor, breaking all the rules, no accountability whatsoever. Guido, the governor, committed voter fraud this last election. We had picked up on something, and I tried to find it, but just couldn't find the actual location. But there was a city in New York City that they claimed there were X amount of votes, an enormous number of votes that was, passed through there. And when we looked up that region and just the population, the numbers did not add up. Let's just say that. But now I've come to a better conclusion. And he doesn't give a fuck about the elections because he buys them. Why all the New Yorkers are so pissed off, that is the real reason. Oh, and the news will not report all of the corrupt crimes that he has partaken in and orchestrated. They do not report anything. They only report these made up, I don't know, bullcrap, some bullcrap. Oh, yeah, I just recalled. He does silly things like this, and you have to be a resident to know. He orchestrated this whole, it was an accident on the freeway, and then he's there acting as if he's helping the guy out of the car. But the camera crew's there because, they're taking his picture because he has to have some kind of good publicity because he knows that he sucks. He sucks. And the people know it. But that's the silly, absurd stuff, he does. Now, Guido the governor was part of Buffalo Billions and many other pay-to-play schemes. That was basically it was a contract that's supposed to be shared with the different companies. They get to bid on the job and they get these contracts, and they're supposed to do work. What they end up doing was hiring their buddies, their cronies, and they actually went down, some of them, they actually went, and to me they got a slap on the wrist, because they're his buddies, they're all looking out for each other. But he was a part of it too. I feel he was a part of it too. You the governor, you allocating the money, you know what's going on. But we'll get to that at the end. Then we already talked about the database. Oh, he was he pretty much busted HUD when he ran it. He did that too. Because everything if you were to have a nice, beautiful green line, let him come stand on it. Believe me, it will die. Everything he touched goes to shit. So, move on to the next. Okay, so Guido, the governor, made the workers rush on the bridge. There was a bridge that was being built and whatnot. And let's see. pledge by dozens of falling boats. Oh, he had them. Okay, basically, he had rushed them on the job because he wants to do his, his good PR. So basically, he rushed the workers. So there's some kind of scandal because their boats are just falling off of the damn bridge. And one of the, I think, news stations or someone, they revealed it. And that's how that came about. But yes, so to me, you got the liability going on there, and he's just very reckless overall, very reckless. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we already covered that, and okay, so basically, he had ran an anti-corruption. He had like a team, and they're supposed to go, taking out the corruption in government. Well, wouldn't you know? They one day came knocking at his door. And guess what he did? He closed the whole thing down. You can't make this stuff up. It's crazy. So now you're talking about, and that's what I'm saying. How could he have not been with the Buffalo Billion? How could he have not been with a lot of these other schemes that's been discovered? Uh, let's see. So then that brings me to another thing. I said, where is the FBI? Like, what is the point in having all these agencies if your local town, state is so corrupt? Why is the FBI or this, somebody coming in and doing something about it? So I had said this in my writing. I said, let's see, where's it at? Where's the FBI on this? Too busy working for the Democrats and spying on the president. I have the proof for that too. I can show that in the link as well. But yes, they apologized in court for spying on the president and associates, and that it was illegal, and Obama had something to do with it, Hillary, the gang. The gang that likes to screw you. So that was that. Okay. Now this is the latest move because you got to really keep in mind, seriously, it doesn't matter if it's New York, it doesn't matter if it's California, it doesn't matter, all the states at this point. I mean, if you've really been watching the circus that they have on display right now with the dang House of Representatives, I mean, it's out of control. And it's just a circus. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars with this nonsense. But I want you to understand how serious they take this voting thing. I mean, they go all out. I mean, all out. They want the illegal votes. They want they want it all rigged. Like I said, from New York to California. So, what else? He spent $33 million to retail the subway, probably a part of the subway, and then there was I think it's called Skyway. Yeah. He actually paid, I don't know if I see the price here, but he spent millions of dollars. Get a load of this. He spent millions of dollars for people to show concepts of a building that ain't already, that's supposed to be built. You spent millions of taxpayers' dollars. Let me get this right. You spent millions of taxpayers' dollars for concepts, some kind of entry thing. It was like some kind of prize thing. But yes. Now, there's another thing about him, Guido the governor. Well, he carries on like a dictator. And to be quite honest with you, New York State is actually a communist state. It is a communist state. And he said, Guido the governor, that there is no room in New York City for conservatives. And to be quite honest with you guys, there are, I don't know the exact numbers, but there are tons and tons of natives of New York that left the state. They continue to leave the state. They are running. And he's just collecting the legal aliens and doing whatever it is he want to do because he gets to, be this dictator. Nobody's going to stop him. The FBI don't give a damn. None of the agencies give a damn. But, Obama, you got to remember Obama. And this is why I don't like him, but he is the one that he signed something in reference to listening in on citizens' calls. I don't know if y'all was paying attention, but Obama did that. Another thing I didn't like was him giving military trucks for free to the police department. They're supposed to be protecting and serving the community. So, yes. But he's this Guido the governor has been just laundering the money and stealing the money. He takes his cut off the top, man. He's always for example, Martin Luther King Park. Well, I'm not. I'm sure he may have had something to do with it because I'm sure Buffalo didn't just come up with that money. But there was a wading pool that was constructed, and originally I could have sworn it was like $14 million, under 20 million. But when I looked it up recently, I think it only came up to like 9. So they had to kind of fix that because it just didn't look right. But it just doesn't take that amount of money to do what it is that he's claiming all the time. Now, this is his latest move. And Puerto Ricans, do not fall for it. He done left his governor duties for New York to go to Puerto Rico because here, remember, he's the dictator. So he's going and acting like he's the president, excuse me. And he went to Puerto Rico. Mind you, it just so happened he got it, he has funds because he's, to help out. But he's stealing the money. If we ain't learned nothing, learn this one thing from me today. Now you're gonna probably have to the ears. I'm sorry, but it's just what it is. Hillary's been doing that shit for years. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton has been doing that shit for years. Have any of you ever heard of what the Clinton Foundation has done for anybody? Have you? I sure have. Anywho, she stole the money from Haiti when all of the Americans and all of the people around the world donated all of their money when they had their natural disaster. And she collected it, Secretary of State. And she didn't do what she was supposed to do with that money. She pocketed. And see, Cuomo done caught on. So, oh yeah, I'm going to help Puerto Ricans. Get out of here. I pulled up an article. It said that he gave them pillows and blankets. How the hell is that supposed to help them? So let's go to some other things. Why you either need to leave the Democratic Party or get on these elected officials. They need to be prosecuting some of these elected officials. But where's the FBI? Where's the CIA? Where's anybody? Where are these people? I guess they're paying them off too. And there's connections here. When you even do the breakdown of the impeachment, for example, how is it that they what was it, the dossier? One of those, but yeah, how is it that let's say Hillary. Why do Hillary have access to, I don't know, the FBI agent? I have to pull up their names. I have it. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay, I found it. It's John Brennan. Access to John Brennan. And these are some of the top players in the coup against the president. In President Trump's campaign before he became president, there was a coup, a plan to pretty much overthrow or do whatever to get him out of office, basically. And yes, these are some of the big players. John Brennan, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, even John McCain was in on it. That came out too. And I have a link for the evidence and what they or what role they played in this all. So it's just really nasty Democrats, and they are so used to controlling things. And what I mean by that is, years ago, I used to always think, we got puppet presidents. We have puppet presidents. And boy, if you, I can't even put it together. Let's see. Boy, did it show, is what I'm trying to say. Because they always have puppet presidents and they're constantly doing businesses outside the country, Ukraine and other parts of the Middle East. They're taking that money. Don't let the certain politicians fool you. Okay? Hunter Biden, you know how much money he got. Even Nancy Pelosi, son. And you wonder why they're breaking their necks trying to get to the Senate and impeachment and blase, blase. They're trying to cover their own tracks. Now, they want to be upset with President Trump. Claiming that, you weren't supposed to, basically, he wasn't supposed to persuade the president of Ukraine to do his own, pretty much fight corruption, basically. And the fact of the matter is, that is what the president of Ukraine said. Our president only said on the phone call, do what you said you were going to do. He didn't say himself, oh, you need to fight corruption. But this is the part that I don't like. But I agree that because the FBI and the CIA and the let me see, where's the other names? There's a lot of agencies. There's a lot of them. Let's see. Do I even have it here? The FISA court. I don't think I have it here. Let me see. Okay, so I finally got the names. It's DHS, NSA, CIA, FBI, and then the Department of Justice, which oversees them, and the FISA court. So you have all these entities, but for some reason they somehow mysteriously cannot figure out. I can't even say they can't figure it out. They know. But they will not go against the Democratic Party. See, what I noticed is the corruption on Hillary Clinton that they know about, they're calling it classified information and or national security. See, that's the little game that they're playing. So when it's the corruption of a high-level Democrat, it's national security. They scream national security. But like I was saying, you got Biden, son, Pelosi's son, doing all this, taking all this money, not even qualified for the job. And then, so my point was, I'm sorry about that. My point was, you have all these government agencies, and not one of them can figure it out. Nothing. They can't never say anything about the Democrats because we're going to go back in history again. Now, mind you, remember I said, me personally, the worst president to me was President Bush II, where they should have been doing all this whack job stuff they're doing now. They should have already knew. With him, he what? Owned oil. They come from a family of owning oil. So, number two, his father always had access to the CIA. He never left those privileges alone, which I think needs to be cut. I don't think any president that's not sitting should have access to the FBI, CIA, or any other agencies. That'll root out the corruption right there. A good throw it in the trash, amount. Right there. So you're telling me that the Democrats, at least the ones now, the ones crazy, Pelosi, Schiff, and the Nadler, and everybody else coming out, because they're actually hiding their own and looking out for their own, so they don't get busted. So you had that. You had you had family-owned oil. 2, access to the CIA and everything else. 3, the president was informed by the CIA or one of those agencies that there was supposed to be an attack. Not only that, the people that committed the crimes went to school and learned how to fly an airplane in America. The CIA and the agencies, they know all about that. They knew all about that. They gave them notice. They knew who was going to do the attacks, I'm sure. What good old Bush do? Sat back, chilled. And on the day of September 11th, mysteriously, all the Jews knew not to go to Twin Towers. Really? So they let that shit happen. Because, believe it or not, we do have the best military in the world. Highly sophisticated. We got the best of everything. So where was Nancy Pelosi then? Where was Adam Schiff then? Why weren't they acting like a circus then? When it should have been done. And this is what frustrates Americans right now. Because the Democrats and the liberals don't truly understand. They're just assuming things at this point because we have an attack on the people in America, and it's done by the media. They are attacking us like there ain't no tomorrow. They report nothing but opinions, fake narratives, trying to scare the shit out of you, and never hardly the truth. CNN is the worst. They are the worst. I want to clear up something. You had all these people pissed off and, oh, the kids in cages. My little illegal alien, the children in cages. Back up again. Let's go back to Obama. Well, guess what? The little alien kids that was in the cages was in the cages for when Obama was in office. But they don't tell you that part. They turn around and they are totally attacking this here president. The one president that's not a puppet. Why do you think they're all up in arms? They ain't doing this for nothing. You got your big donor, George Soros. He paid for the caravans. He paid for the protesting. He paid for all this chaos. And Hollywood. They paid for all this. And you want to talk about racism? CNN is racist. Hollywood is racist. And this is the problem I have. Even the news stations know this. They know that the illegal alien kids and families were in cages during Obama term. Hell, they were all up in arms when he had the travel ban, Trump. But guess what? Who gave him the list of the countries that were on red alert? Obama did. Now, I don't have the video today, but from Bush to Obama. Actually, I think I do have one for Obama. Let me see. I think I do. Let me see. From Bush to Obama. Let me see. And other presidents before, they always say, oh, we're going to take care of the illegal immigration problem. And this is the promises that they make before they go into office. This is the promises. Oh, we're gonna fix immigration. Never doing nothing. Or doing a thing. Let me see. Let's cut this up. Let's
done nothing to control.
Let's listen to this.
This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem, and the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. And so what we have to do is create a comprehensive solution to the problem. Now, I have already stated that as president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. And when we do those things, I believe that we can take the undocumented workers, the illegal aliens who are here, get them out of the shadows, make sure that they are subject to a stiff penalty, make sure that they're learning English, make sure that they go to the back of the line so they're not getting an advantage over people who came here legally. And when we do that, I think that we can, instead of shedding all this heat, start shedding some light on the problem, and we can once again be a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do as President of the United States.
All right. Let's hear it for Obama. Oh, okay. Lying. Just lying. There was a clip. I couldn't find it on the internet because I'm always finding some corruption, this X, Y, and Z. And some of the stuff I'll go back later and they totally pull it from the internet. But there was a clip of Obama, and he was in office at the time. And he kept saying, it was on camera. Somebody have to probably find it and let me know, send it to me. But he kept saying that he couldn't do pretty much what his DACA, or what DACA had became, or whatever the case is. And he did it anyway. He said he did not have grounds to do something like that. That has to, be done through a whole nother channel. So, yeah, that's what your Democratic, appointed president claimed. But he gave them, driver's license. He gave them DACA, which was illegal. Where was Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff then in the whole Democratic game? But the fact of the matter is, Trump is doing a lot of good for all American people. And I feel this is a time that everybody should get on board, because you do not want how it's a communist state in New York City. You do not want that in California or any other state. But I'll tell you this, and this is what I've noticed and been paying attention to. The truth of the matter is, and they don't really tell you, or they tell you little bits and pieces, but these government officials or leadership, the ones that pretty much the leadership, the main leadership that's running everything, they really, and governors of some states too, they really want to bring a lot of people from the Middle East here. And they already started, but they want to bring a lot more. So I congratulate President Trump. Ooh, I congratulate him. Because, boy, what I was seeing in France, these people crazy. They don't let them in their country talking about, oh, let's help them, out of the war zone. Let's help out and be charitable and whatnot and help them. They don't let all them people come over there. They damn near run it. The mayor, the mayor of London. I mean, they so burnt out. They had the supposed to be insulting Trump balloon floating around when he came into town. These people are off the chain. There is, as far as crime, obviously that has went up. That have gone up, and rape is like up here. They are raping the women in Europe like it's nobody's business, and it's like normal for these people. I'm not saying all of them, but they let them all in the country like that throughout Europe. And this is now the problems they have to deal with. The women being raped, or someone hopping in a big rig and running down the people. That mortified me. And after all the bull crap that we went through with Obama, I don't even want to go through the list of those things. You need to probably look it up yourself. But yes, that whole terrorist attack thing, that was very scary to see. I'm sorry, I don't know about y'all, but I would like to travel. But if there's nowhere to travel and they pretty much took over every damn thing. They done went everywhere and trying to bring the Sharia laws and, I mean, this is getting absurd. Where is the structure of America, the original structure? Even Canada kind of lost their mind. They done gave them Sharia law, their own courts. I don't know about that. Keep your own established government and the wonderful benefits, the Constitution, that's being attacked right now. So I commend, like I said, I'm going to get back to that, but like I said, I commend President Trump for that travel ban. Because we don't know who the heck was coming in the country. The FBI ain't paying attention, and when they are, they planning it. Maybe they're not planning, but some, one of the oil dudes, you never know what the hell might be going on. And how many people they want to sacrifice from in America. I'm tired of the bull. So, yes, I commend the president. I'm 100% with when he had the travel ban. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there might have been a travel ban under Obama. But nobody got mad about that. Nobody had protests or nothing. He had certain countries where they couldn't come and what have you, but nobody reported it. That wasn't the Democrats' agenda. Because remember, they like to brainwash you and keep you as a slave. And it don't matter what color you are. They want to keep you as their personal slave while they piling that money. They piling all this money up. This is ridiculous. The money's there because they're constantly spending it. They don't care how much debt, this and that. Trump stood up and did what none of these presidents have done. I don't want no shit from China. Stuff breaks. I can't even get a vacuum cleaner from Walmart because everything's brought in from China. We need the jobs back here. We need to produce things. You dang right I'm a Trump supporter. He done brought jobs back here. He done brought big companies back here, big businesses. Yes, America needs that. Make America great again. But we not even on that. Y'all late. We don't keep America great. We got to keep America great. We don't want these fly-by-night politicians. We already seen what they do. And it's not nice. So that's another good thing. You dang right, do a travel ban. Damn it. We need to see, we need the Department of Homeland Security to get their stuff together. Because that's all Trump was trying to do. He needed them to get it together. Because y'all ain't screening people like you're supposed to. Y'all just, and then you got Californians. Oh, we want open borders. We don't want any walls. We just want them all to come. We want MS-13. And did you see what that crazy mayor did? I think she was in San Francisco or something, somewhere in California. ICE was ready to come and haul up the bad criminals, the worst of the illegal immigrants, the worst criminal illegal immigrants. Not just the ones, living their lives. I'm talking about the criminals. This damn mayor, she went and told the damn residents. I'm like, how does that help us in our safety? And I guess you have to be a California resident, but you have, if you compare, let's put it this way. You have some racism from some of them. MS-13, there was cases where I think they flash their lights at you, and if you respond a certain way, they'll like try to kill you or do. They've been known to do things like that. And like I said, Hollywood is supporting this Democratic Party so tough because they are racist. They are racist, and we need to get that through our heads. Who's supporting who? Who's backing that politician? So yes, and then what else? There was okay, that was another thing. Far as Flint, Michigan, that is really the state's job to have taken care of the water issue there. And before it even probably got as far as it did, if I remember what I read, what I did read, basically the governors, the mayor, what have you, knew about this and they did nothing about it. They knew that this was a problem, or it was starting to be a problem until it was a big problem. So that was something that those elected officials are responsible for. But okay, it's out of hand. They so corrupt too, Democratic Party, because I have it posted. It says that Senator Jim Anich, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Seldom Neely, Democratic Party. Okay, wait, whoa, hold on. Seldom Neely, Democratic, receive $500 million. So this is the feds. The feds and the state actually provided these funds to get the pipes fixed, restore, pretty much redone. They've received, this Seldom Neely, Democrat, $500,000. And then this other senator, Jim Anich, $560 to $600 million. So the feds, when you talk about people are like, well, why the White House ain't did nothing? What the hell? Why they just leaving us like this? I done read right here, and I have another tab too. Let me go to that one. Is this it? Yeah, the city of Flint is getting 70. No. Where does it say? Counting. Well, there's somewhere else where I read that, the mismanagement of the funds. What the hell you mean, mismanagement of the funds? Democratic Party. You get my point now? It is the Democratic Party going into the minorities, communities, representing them, constantly getting the money, taking what they want, hiring all their friends, and never doing what they were elected to do in the first place. And the problem is, ain't nobody checking on them. Where, like I said, where is the FBI? Where's all these agencies? Why do we have these agencies? What do we have all these agencies for if they're not going to prosecute these Democrats? Because all I've seen for years, even through the Bush administration to the Obama administration, and there were things that he could have gotten charged for too, or had a reason to be impeached. But did they do anything? No, because they was all passing that money out to each other. So the point is, you either need to get with the Republican Party and see what they can do for you, but at the same time, you have to be active. You're not supposed to just go out and vote for your president only. You have to get out there and vote for who the legislator is, who the senator, and who the House of Representatives. You have to get out and you have to vote, and you need to vote them out when they're not doing, and you need to write what your concerns are. You have to be more active so you don't be left behind. And so that things aren't crumbling and falling to pieces. I'm going to have my husband read off an article from Los Angeles and how they are mismanaging the monies there and how absurd the story sounds. So take it away, hon.
The state of California spends approximately $1.1 billion every year on their homeless problem. That problem includes 134,000 homeless people, or approximately 25% of the entire homeless within the United States.
Louder.
From this article, I will read, Sacramento closed the only city-run homeless shelter April 30th after spending $5 million on it. There were just 37 homeless people using it when it closed. The city is expected to open another homeless facility in July when the Capitol Park Hotel is set to open downtown with up to 180 beds. The Sacramento Bee reported the city will spend more than $23 million to open a 180-bed temporary homeless shelter at the Capitol Park Hotel downtown, where more than 90 elderly and disabled people currently live. They will be ousted.
And what does that mean, darling Edward?
Well, at a rate of $1.1 billion per year, they could literally be paying homeless people $8,200 per year to stop being homeless. And that goes above and beyond what federal funds are coming in to the state of California, as well as their Social Security. Honestly, they could make a whole lot more than most Americans.
Okay. And then the last sentence, I wanted you to reiterate that because that's very important information. You said,
yes, this article reads that they are going to spend $23 million to open a 180-bed temporary homeless shelter where they will displace 90 elderly and disabled people in favor of the homeless.
So they're going to get rid of the elders and the disabled people for the homeless. They're going to displace all these people. And there was another thing I think in this article too that you were saying that they had spent a whopping amount of money on a building for the homeless and then they closed it down.
Yes, $5 million.
Okay, so they spent $5 million on a building for the homeless. Did it say the year?
No, but they did say they immediately shut it down after spending that money.
Okay, after spending how much was it?
$5 million.
$5 million. So they spent $5 million in California for a location for the homeless. And right after they built it, they shut it down. Sound like they're catching on to New York's plan, which reminds me of something. Out of the 10 years of me being here, I have learned that throughout the state, they will build these housing projects and, for low income housing and whatnot. But one thing they constantly do too, they knock them down because of crime or mismanagement. I think more so crime though, but they'll knock them down and then they'll redo another one. And that's where I caught on to things. I'm like, wait, hold on. Why is it every time, the politicians, they come out and we're going to make this new housing project and it's going to help the people. And then to my mind, I'm sitting back like, so these fools been doing a replay of this shit like over and over and over. And they come out looking like they've done good or they've done some kind of justice and actually helped the people in the minority communities. When the fact of the matter is, no. They just keep pushing pause, play, stop, tear down. Let's allocate some money from over here we're going to build a new one. So much time go by and they shut them down. That's been going on for years in New York, throughout New York. So we need to start holding these public officials accountable, and we need all the different agencies that I named to start actually doing their job and stop working for the Democratic corrupt loser party to spy on everybody so that when election day comes up, they can sit there and tell a little dirt like the saying for the president. That was a private, like I said, conversation. And Hillary just happened to know? No, she didn't just happen to know about the whole grab them by the you know what. She found that out from her buddy friends, her pal friends in the dang FBI and the CIA and whatnot. They go way back. Hillary been pimping for a while now. So we got to wake up, smell the coffee, and don't pay no attention to most of these Me Too people. Most of them are fraud. They came out just to work with the damn Democrats to take half of President Trump's cabinet away with accusations. I thought it was a fair trial, if that's the case. But no, that's not how they work. They nasty, they dirty. And then when they get caught, they get a slap on the hand. They never get time. They don't. Look at it. Look at the ones, you'll find some on my page, but they don't get no time. They don't really get any time. They get slapped on the hands. They stealing, embezzling millions of dollars, and no, they don't get in trouble. The Democrats don't, and you know why? I know for New York why. The judges, a lot of them, they even corrupt. They even corrupt. They need to start holding them civilly and criminally liable for screwing up someone's life like they do. They even have cases where if you do have money and you happen to be in court, they'll do everything. They'll turn around and steal your damn wife from you. It's bad. So when President Trump came out saying, "Make America Great," y'all don't know the half of it. Come to these certain parts, like Buffalo, New York, and I'm sure there's many others. I can't think of them off the top. Oh, Niagara, that's another one, Niagara Falls. But it is a mess. And like, I don't know if I stated it before, but wanting to help out in Africa, you got to clean up this mess here. And with all this money and they're spending, they need to start coming up with a plan to help out people with businesses. Spread the wealth. That's what Trump's about. So I advise the different states to start a Facebook group where you guys can discuss politics and keep up with what is going on, because I'm actually a part of quite a few of them in my region. And we all keep each other abreast of things. Right now, Virginia, they're trying to do like New York, and this is the governor, he's a racist. He let that pass. Basically, minorities can have abortions up to 9 months pregnant. And that affects the minority communities because they are the ones, it's known in the records, it's been proven, that are having the abortions, period, point in the blank. So it's an attack on Americans, the media, the Democrats trying to suppress and not spread the wealth like Trump's trying to do. They fighting them with everything they got. But I say, even if you stay a Democrat, get on your representatives' behinds and say, hey, I like that ideal that, you know, Trump's got going on right now. That can actually help out America, you know? So yeah, don't be afraid. Get involved. Don't be silent. Get involved. And I thank you for listening to me run my mouth about politics. But that's my thing. I love some politics. I can talk for hours. Um, oh, I want to share, I think, two more things. It's funny. It's a little clip. Let me. Sorry about the lighting. But, okay. Let's see. This is Bernie Sanders. Let me see. Is it...
Hold it one at a time.
With some
What
kids.
about cocaine? Good thing, bad thing? What about even smoking cigarettes? Who here smokes?
This is who Cardi B
Let me hear, come on, raise your hand.
just endorsed.
Now, other than your parents, who smokes? You got your smoke already? I've seen a lot of kids who were 12 and 11 smoking.
I don't smoke.
All right.
I don't smoke, but I'm a little kid. I'm only 5 years old.
Now, Bernie Sanders is a communist. Everybody knows that.
That's so adorable. I don't smoke because I'm 5 years old. Like, it's almost like Bernie can't tell the difference between kids and adults. He's like, let's talk finance.
Go
You guys
ahead,
diversify.
further.
Who's got a 401k? Who has a 401k? Who talks about cocaine with 5-year-olds? Like, the way he was asking the question made it seem less like an anti-drugs talk and more like he was trying to score some blow. He was just like, you guys to teach the kids a lesson about
This
bigotry.
is Bernie Sanders.
But I think it
too.
might have backfired.
If you want to deal with a group of people, what you essentially do, and you want to do bad things to them, you develop a stereotypical image of them, a stereotype. When I was a young person, what we learned is that black people smell. All right, what about Jewish people? What's their thing? How are they different than other people? Their religious beliefs were different, but also they were greedy and selfish people. Also had strange sexual habits and so forth and so on. So what does everybody know about the Irish? They get in fights because they're drunk. All the Irish people do is drink. That's the Irish. Both Italians are gangsters, and Irish are drunk, and Jews are greedy, and black people smell. Okay.
Bernie Sanders.
He's Bernie.
This is who your girl endorsing.
Man. These poor kids clearly don't harbor any of those stereotypes, and now you're the one putting it in their heads. Oh, the black
Oh, wait. What did he say?
smell, the Italians and the mafia, the Irish are drunks, and why are we so scared of Jewish people? We're not because they're equal. Wrong. They have strange sexual habits. Come on.
Burnt out. You had, yeah, so you had Cardi B endorsing him. Then, and that's something I don't like. I don't like when celebrities try to endorse. Like, mind your business. Most times, it's nothing but the Democratic Party. I mean, you see what Hillary did. It was almost pretty much the end of her campaign. And what do you know? Here comes Beyonce. It's like ridiculous. But hey, she didn't say nothing, I don't think. She just got paid, so I guess she was smart. Another one that's pretty smart when it comes to this and doesn't open their mouth. Let's see. Oh dear, I had it open. I don't know if you could see it, but yeah. Okay, that's 50 Cent and Nancy Pelosi. Before she started the impeachment trial. See, because I follow 50 Cent on Facebook. So he must have posted the picture with Nancy Pelosi. And we all, like, everybody went off on him. But he didn't say anything. He didn't say, you know, he didn't put his foot in his mouth, put it that way. He's about his money. So he went ahead and took that money. Okay, you want to take this picture? Here I come. That's okay to me. You know, you're going to show up because they want to pay you all this money because it's Democrats, they got money. But, yeah. So that's pretty much it. And I hope that I've helped you to understand what's going on, what's been going on, what's been going on lately, and that you would get involved. We need to get involved and help in our communities and make sure that it's safe. And one way, to my mind, of how to make sure your neighborhood is safe, you need to start reporting crimes. You have to report them. You know, that's the only way you're going to clean up your neighborhood. Most people, they act like they didn't see anything, they don't know anything. You know, how would you feel if it was your loved one? They have anonymous lines that you can call and don't have to put yourself out there. Start doing things to try to help out your community, because in my other video, I said I was going to do what I can to help out and make America great. And this is my contribution of doing my part and helping to keep America great. So let's get on the move. It's going to take some time and some work, some hard work and some challenges, but we can do it.